Good day, everybody. We're day 398, starting the regenerative ecosystem build. I'm going to check out the pond this morning. I was trying to see if we could find, oh, there he is. There he is. That looks like cooter. That was cooter. We didn't see a yellow tail. No, I'm sorry. Cooter is the yellow tail. What am I talking about? That was scooter. I even get confused with cooter and scooter. They are hard to tell apart in the water. Cooter is the yellow tail, and scooter is the red tail. One's a river, and one's a river cooter, and the other is a peninsula cooter. Both are sliders. Check out these snails here. I don't know what they got going on, but they're laying up in bed together. Maybe we get some baby snails. I know we got enough snails up here. All those little black dots are snails. And they are cleaners. Look how much algae they have taken off. All that green there, that was algae. And those little snails have cleaned all that completely out. Crystal clear creek now. You can't even hardly tell there's water in it. Look how fast that little bugger is. Cannabis plants are looking almost done. Let's see if we can get over here. This is the OK Calyx Cherry Grande times peach pistils, and it is just a beautiful plant. Super terpy. I mean, just by me just grazing it, all you get is cherry. I mean, just straight cherry. Unbelievable. And then right beside it is the divine pine from Marco is growing, and this is an indica. So we've got fruity over here, and then we've got straight almost like gasoline over here. Straight indica, unbelievably sticky. Just you touch it and it is on you for the day. And when it says divine pine, it means tiny. I mean, it is like a Christmas tree almost. Let's see if I can get over here without breaking my neck. Yeah, Christmas tree is the word for that one. We've got strawberry Crip Dog here. This is from Blue Ridge Genetics. Unbelievably fruity, super terpy. Start to see some color coming. See that purple? Can't wait for that one. Creek system is looking crystal clear this morning. We've got new agates. I love these rocks. These are agates that a guy sent me from Mass Creations, and he's got some really cool stuff. He finds all this stuff. Lake Superior, I believe, is where he's at, up in Michigan. One of my favorites is this. Looks like an orange peel, like an orange slice. You get it wet. Super cool. He sent us all these. We got this one over here. It's just glistening. Let's see if I can get it to glisten. So cool. I love rocks. I'm a big fan. You got a little gnome guy there, a little golfer gnome. Sundew, the floating sundew is definitely catching flies, doing its job. We've got a Venus flytrap also over here. You can see he's starting to get overtaken by all the other stuff, but you can see the flies in the mouth. I don't know if the Venus flytrap will do too well in the soil. You can see the soil is sinking down. It's breaking down. I've got that moss laid down. Probably gonna have to pull that moss up a little bit and start putting some soil underneath of there to replenish what's been broken down by the biology. But we'll figure that out. This jolly pond is being jolly. It's super tight nodes. Definitely the tightest node structure. And dank, super dank. I can't explain. I would guess if you know a little bit about a Gelato 41 or AK-47, that's what it reminds me of. A heavy gelato. We've got our leaf bud here. Been keeping an eye on the leaf bud just to make sure it doesn't harm on us. Push out some pollen. It doesn't look like it. It looks like that one looks like it's got two nuts, but if it does produce a seed, that's a good thing. I just don't want it to produce pollen, because I don't want pollen floating around all my ladies, and then next thing you know, all the buds have got seeds in them. And we're not trying to breed right now. We're just trying to get some good smoke. This is the Cherry Grande times peach pistils. You can see she's starting to calyx out. OK Calyx is the breeder behind this. You can find him on YouTube at okcalyx.com, I believe it is, or Instagram, okcalyx. He has got fire. We got these purple stems here. I don't pay no attention to that. It's mostly, I think, light, and it could be some genetics involved with that. But it didn't do it on the underside. So I bent these, but on the underside there's no streaking on the underside. So only where the light has been hitting, it turned red. And I'm not sure on why it does that. I'm guessing it's the light. None of the other plants did it, so this one down here didn't do it. Then again, the one that got closest to the light turned red. So I'm assuming it's a light factor, but I'm not an expert on that, so I don't know. It just is what it is. I'm not going to go chasing down problems that I don't need to be chased. So it's probably genetics. I'm not going to go adding anything to the soil. I'm not going to freak out about, oh, there's something wrong in the soil. If anything does go wrong, the plant just doesn't like the atmosphere, doesn't like the moisture, and most of the time we just cut that plant out. We'll try again with a different plant, because these plants are finicky. Some like a lot of water, some don't. Some like desert, some don't. They're all different. So we need to figure out which genetics run best in this atmosphere and run those genetics. It's as simple as that. I'm not trying to change my atmosphere to fit a plant. I'm trying to get the atmosphere right to pretty much grow any type of plant that we put in here. And if it doesn't like it, it don't like it. We know not to grow it again. I'm definitely not going to go throwing amendments and all types of chemicals and trying to fix algae problem. You know, the algae problem that we had, if you go back to the beginning, we had tons of algae. And now there's literally no algae, hardly any algae growing, due to the fact that we have EM1, we're using lactic acid bacteria. We're also using snails. Speaking of snail, look, there's one right there. So we're using those little snails, big snails. We got some assassin snails to come in and take care of the little snails. And we've got crabs, we've got turtle, fish. We're bringing in the whole ecosystem, and we're going to try and balance it out. So if I see a problem, instead of throwing some type of chemical at it, I'm going to throw nature's remedy at it. So nature usually it's a succession thing, basically. You know, everything has a predator. Being human, we're top of the chain, but snails have predators, and those snails have predators, and then crabs have everything has a predator. So if one thing gets out of hand, we'll bring in that predator and try and reduce the population of the other until we balance the system out. This can get complicated and frustrating, for sure. I have tried to do this multiple times in a 4x4 bed, and I realized that a 4x4 bed just is not big enough. You don't have the space that you need for everything to thrive. Maybe a 4x8, but this is 12 foot long by 9.5 foot wide, and as you can see, that the size of it really makes a difference. You gotta have room for all the biology, you gotta have room for the critters, you gotta have room for everything to thrive. So that was the solution, really. Size in this type of system does matter. Trying to go small, you're gonna have huge major problems, mainly because it just doesn't have the room. There's no room for everything to throw. You're just trying to cram. It's like trying to cram 10 million people into one tiny little city. You're gonna have problems. We need space, and that space gives us a little bit of wiggle room, so to speak. So we can have crabs, we can have shrimp. All these different critters can have its own space, its own home. It's kind of like a little amusement park for everything. So size does matter. If you don't have room, I do not recommend trying to do this in an apartment, or if you're going to do it in your home, hit me up. I would love to help, free of charge. Any type of questions you have, just ask, and I'll love to help you out. But thanks for following along, and we'll see you tomorrow.